In the early Cretaceous period, an absolute unit of a predator arose, known as Suchomimus. It was one of the biggest Spinosaurids, or perhaps the biggest of the early Cretaceous period. Later on, Spinosaurus would come down the road and take the title as the biggest Spinosaurid that came to life. But the competition in the early Cretaceous comes from Prehistoric. Interesting name, I know, which, in some cases, could have been the bigger one of the two, due to the size estimates varying quite heavily. It is a bit of a debated topic because it's been argued that Prehistoric was actually just Suchomimus, and the simple reason being is because they were both found in the same place, Niger, Africa. Now on to Suchomimus itself. It was a part of the Spinosaurids group. Within the group, there was another subfamily called Baryonychinae. Don't know if I said that right, which consisted of Baryonyx and Suchomimus, Reparvinator, and Ceratosuchops. Now, out of these, Suchomimus was the biggest. It had these massive claws with massive forelimbs and had an upward stance similar to that of T-Rex. Matter of fact, Suchomimus was, depending on the specimen and the information you get, could almost be as big as T-Rex. Obviously nowhere near the bulk, though. Suchomimus weighed 3 to 5 tons, and the Rex weighed 5 to 8 tons, possibly even weighed a little bit more than that. Moving on to my sort of main point of this video, saying why Suchomimus is quite terrifying in my eyes, is because of one topic that I haven't covered yet. It's a Spinosaurid, and it has the ability to swim. Albeit, though, just by looking at it, you can tell that this thing was definitely not as good of a swimmer as Spinosaurus, because it didn't have a sail on its back, and just because it has a longer tail doesn't mean it can necessarily propel itself through the water at fantastic speeds. But it definitely had a semi-aquatic lifestyle. We are assuming these things because of the way it was built. Look at its head. Its head was built like Spinosaurus's head, and those teeth, those very minute, small, sharp little teeth, and its ratherly weak mouth, right? It wasn't meant to catch very large, unmovable, powerful prey. It was meant to catch faster things. You see what I'm hinting at? Fish, right? But what makes this so terrifying to me is simply, again, same reference. Look at a picture of Spinosaurus, T-Rex, and Suchomimus, right? Suchomimus has it imprints such a fine line between the two. It definitely was really capable on land. It was definitely way more capable than Spinosaurus because it wasn't quadrupedal and it was built more like T-Rex, right? Now, I would even go as far as to say that it could possibly even run faster than T-Rex. I don't know that for sure. My research in that field is a little bit dull, but I would just assume so by looking at it. It makes sense, right? Imagine yourself. You have just teleported to the early Cretaceous period, and now you have to cross a river. And in that river, it's not a Spinosaurus, it's a Suchomimus. A Suchomimus can chase you onto land if you go into the woods. There's not many places you can get away from it from, because it'll get you in the water, and it'll get you on land, and it's faster on land than Spinosaurus, which is pretty scary to me. And also another backing factor to what I was saying earlier, how it couldn't really swim as well, but its nostrils were set so forward on its snout that we know for sure that he was able to stick his head in the water and sort of wait for things to come past. So yeah, all of this kind of leads me to believe that yes, it had to have some kind of a semi-aquatic lifestyle because it lived in swampy areas. That's exactly where we kind of found them in 1997 when we uncovered the entire specimen. And yeah, it definitely had a lifestyle or hunting style where it would sit beside rivers and just kind of wait for fast-moving objects to come across the river, and boom, snatched. Anyway, yeah, I just kind of wanted to make a longer form video just to see what kind of audience I can bring in. Just talking about it. I love talking about dinosaurs and paleontology, and I can't stop myself from yapping sometimes, so this is a fun thing to do. I really hope people like my videos. Anyway, subscribe for more videos like this. And yeah, those shorts, I'll continue to do them every day or so. We'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching. And until next time.